Hello, everyone! Welcome back. It is a Sunday night. I'm your favorite neighborhood Prax. Welcome to the channel. I'm going to let my wonderful players go around and do all of their stuff, and I'm going to do my bit at the end. Um, but welcome to the channel. I'm your friendly neighborhood Prax. Why is my camera off? There we go. That's better. All right. So we're gonna start. People are broken. All right, I can fix that. There we go. Start with PB. Hey, PB. How are you?
Hi, hello. I'm doing good. Hi, I'm PB. Today I'm going to be playing Civ Iron Fury, our favorite hammer throwing dwarf. Her pronouns, and I am happy to be alive.
I mean,
Period.
I understand why that was a problem last time. I'm sorry about that. Am I
No, you're
though?
not. No.
I mean,
I can answer that one. No. No, you're not. Even slightly.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Um. All right. Next up, directly next to PB, is the wonderful, fabulous Lynn. Hello, Lynn. How are you doing? How's life going
Ah,
for you?
let's do it. Okay, happy to be here. Hey everyone, I'm Lynn, she, they, and tonight I'm playing Ven. They, them, just a knowledge cleric, collection of souls, ancient. Um, Probably isn't feeling great. Also is lucky to be alive. Was hit really hard by two rocks right off the bat and went down. So breathing's good. Breathing's very good on this one.
Breathing is good. Hashtag can confirm breathing is good. And then directly above Lynn, the individual who seriously tanked last game. Also, welcome to our bachelorette for the evening. Hey, Lindy,
Yes,
how you
yes.
doing?
Hi, tis I. I'm playing the Bachelorette Barbarian Edition tonight. Well, I guess Paladin Edition technically because we're trying to find a deity. So
That's fair. That's fair.
fair, yes, the Paladin Edition of the Bachelorette. Which deity will I choose? I don't know, but I've got roses. That's how that or whatever. I've got to level 3 to choose an oath, so it's fine. Uh, I'm Lindy, Laplove Lindy, playing yourself, Jarl, who is barbarian, now a little paladin doesn't really realize she's paladin yet, hasn't figured that one out. I'm sure she'll get there, and may or may not have gotten possessed a little last week, and rolled really well in a general like casting call for the deity version of the Bachelorette. So I'm looking forward to seeing how terrible that goes.
Yep, indeed. And last but certainly never least, the individual leading her down the garden path of paladinism. Hey, Chris, how are you?
Oh, doing well, doing well. Happy to be here, and I'm playing Gunnar Alfjarl, the older brother of the Bachelorette, and we're trying to find out who is it that can, shall we say, win her heart and her faith.
Yep, I love all of this. Thank you all for being here. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. I get to be the GM for these wonderful shenanigans as we dive back into the glory that is Greyhawk and the fun that we are having here. But you get to help our players because if you retweet our going live, if you repost our going live post on Blue Sky and we hit 10 reposts, the players get a benefit. If you hit 20, I get a benefit. I'm just saying, we haven't hit my benefit at all yet. It's just a thing that we might want to do. Maybe, please, and thank you. But last week, we had some moments where Gunnar bonded with a sword. Yrsa had some questions about divine matchmaking and her big shiny axe thing. You decided to try and see if you could find out more about these particular swords that your new friend Malin introduced you to. So you decided to make your way north to the White Fang Bay to see Karistan, Malin's teacher. And upon your arrival, you found a mage and 4 frost giants attacking the tower. And none of the external defenses were engaged. And you didn't have a wizard standing at the top of his tower firing fireball down onto the attackers. So, take of that as you will. But you now have 4 dead frost giants and a dead mage. What would you like to do?
Teeth.
Okay, roll me a nature check.
Nature survival.
Either one.
Nature survival. That's what I've been rolling for teeth. Big teeth.
Yep, you can pull. Roll me a d10.
Oh yeah. 10 teeth.
10 teeth. You have 10 teeth to give your son.
10 teeth the size of his head.
They're not quite that big.
The molars might be. There's one of the back molars.
Yeah, maybe. It might make
Get
it.
you a
Like a
frost
fist,
giant
like a
helmet.
side of a fist.
Tooth helmet.
Y'all are real glad you have those bags of holding now, aren't you?
Why do you think I took one?
It
I knew I
could
was gonna be collecting random shit no one else was gonna want to carry.
It could be really awkward to explain if we didn't.
I mean, fair. That's all fair. You
Some
have
kind of dentist.
Yeah, my son's totally gonna be a dentist when he grows up. It's fine.
No, your son can't be a dentist. He's not allowed to be a dentist.
But he's an elf and he just wants to be a dentist.
Oh,
That's fine as long as he stays in the
And
you
on
know
the cold
Rankin
frosty
and
lands.
Rankin and Bash side of dentistry, rather than the Broadway side of dentistry.
Oh no, I was thinking like Rudolph.
Yeah, the Rankin
Like,
and Bash.
Yeah, yeah. That's
rather
that's
than
all.
the horrors side of dentistry.
Oh no, I was thinking just get him a reindeer. I mean, we're like snow elves, anyways. He probably ride on reindeer. He's just begging for a Rudolph parody here. He just needs to have an emo phase and call himself a misfit for a while, and then it'll be
That's fair. Is
complete.
he could be kept wearing Little Shop of Horrors dentistry? Yeah, exactly. Little Shop of Horrors dentistry. God damn it! I was trying so hard, Trooper. Be a dentist. People will pay you for their pain. But moving on. So, in this case, you have teeth. What else are the rest of you doing? Malin
like
is
to-
running to the door.
I would like to go through the pockets of the mage to look for anything identifying to figure out what's going on.
Please roll me an investigation.
It'd help if I actually had my character sheet open.
I mean, why rush these things?
All right. Investigation.
oh.
No.
I mean, you're gonna find some obvious things. Like a big gold brooch and on a platinum neck chain with a bunch of chrysoberyls. It's got funny looking letters on it. You would also realize that the individual is male and not female.
Oh.
No, they just had a disguise spell on that fell when they died.
Oh. I'll yell out, well, they've got nice jewelry, but I still don't know who they are.
Well, we can take care of that.
I'm gonna call the horses down.
Malin will be bringing the
From-
horses. He's trying to get into the building.
Ah, thank God. Because I don't want to call the horses. I am going to then hobble my way over to Melon at the door, keeping an eye out for any other large visitors.
Mm-hmm. You can roll me that perception check.
I would love to roll you this perception check. Oh, an 11.
Not bad.
10 more than I was expecting.
I mean, you didn't roll badly. The door seems to be locked and bolted from the inside. Malin is frantically digging through his pockets. In that way of somebody who's like, I know I have a key for this. Let me just find the key for this. But because they're so anxious, they can't actually just find the key. You know? That's what Malin's doing. What is Ven doing?
Ven is casting Speak with the Dead on our mage friend.
Cool. And there's no save for that anymore, is there?
Mm-mm.
And you get 5 questions. As Malin is frantically trying to get the door open. So what would you ask? Is this body just kind of...
What were you doing here?
Came to kill Kirsten and take what's mine.
What were you meaning to take back?
My birthright.
Did you come here on your own idea, or were you sent by someone else?
GM pause, hold on. Both are true, and yet neither is true.
Who are you? What is your... what is your name? That's what's...
Randrin Meverus. RANDRINMEVERAST.
Oh, can you put that in the
Yeah, I'll
Discord?
put it in the I'll put this in the
thank you.
Zoom
Thank you.
chat for you.
And my last question is, what was the means of you breaking into the tower?
I'm going to put a GM pause on this because he hasn't broken into the tower yet.
Yes.
So, would you like to change that question? Because you know he hasn't broken in.
It's like how were you going to break in?
How were you going to? Okay.
Yes.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
I still have a key. And you see just this waft of green light fade as the body falls back down. Then, can I get a wisdom saving throw, please?
Okay, wisdom saving throw. 21.
Cool. I have a question for Gunnar. You're standing next to them, correct?
Correct.
So it's a 23 then, correct?
Correct.
Then,
Mm-hmm.
your mind sees something in a moment, in a flash, as this soul returns to the afterlife from this animated corpse.
Mm-hmm.
You see this swell of darkness come out of around the body, around the soul, and proceed to turn and clamp on the soul and pull it down. And there's a moment, a brief moment, where you feel then yourself separating.
Mhm.
All of yourselves separating. As one part was also drifting towards and about to be sucked into this vortex, but is not.
Mm.
Is clamped down upon, and you feel yourself whole and intact.
What was that? Nature of it. Arcane,
Oh no, you
celestial, or like godless, or just like
it was divine of
divine.
some
Ooh.
sort. To know more,
Ooh.
you could roll me religion.
Yeah, let's do it. That seemed real nasty. 21.
With a 21, you can know. I will give you one piece of information for free, and you can ask me 3 questions.
Okay.
Piece of information for free. You already knew it was divine. That's entirely separate.
Mm-hmm.
It was not infernal.
Mm-hmm.
It did not look like it came from the hells of any way.
Mm-hmm. Would I get any hint of like God's have a portfolio? Like, did it have any sort of like sign, flavor to it that we could kind of gauge from it?
The lingering taste of grass.
Grass.
What you're trying to figure out which divine entity this could have been.
Yeah, like what kind of
I could even give you that one for free, because you might recognize it. Hold please while I
Cool, great.
just make sure I make sure I have the good. You know when you're trying to look something up and you know exactly what you're looking up, but you can't because it can't spell the damn thing?
Yes. Frequently with fantasy.
Oh yes.
Or non-fantasy things.
Hey,
Many things.
Lynn, how do you... This is not from your deity, but how do you spell your deity's name? Because this is going to give me the information I need.
Oh.
It's...
Farlangan?
For F-A-R...
Yeah.
L-A-N...
G-H...
G-H-A-N?
No. Nope.
No, there's no... Okay, I got it. F-H-A-R-L...
Yeah.
A-N-G-H-N.
Okay, here we go. Look, when one needs...
It's hard. It's like I can't... There's a lot of...
Sorry.
There's a lot of consonants like being run together in this.
There's a lot of consonants being run together, and look, I don't spell in English. You want me to be able to spell in random foreign language that doesn't exist?
That someone That was... Yeah.
Okay, this is what I needed. Thank you
There
very
we go.
much. Because you, in particular, would recognize this.
Oh.
Yeah. Because what you saw, what pulled him out, was the void.
Ooh, good.
And you, in particular, would recognize that because of who your deity is. Versus who other people he might, like, his brother.
Mm-hmm.
Because Celestian might, know things.
Yeah.
But that looked like the void pulling him out.
Ooh, boy, that answers a bunch of questions, and it's like that doesn't make it any better.
Mm-hmm. You still have 2 more.
Ooh. Does anybody else? Okay.
And you can...
Yeah, I'll if anyone has any questions.
I know I'm a little concerned about you, TBH, and what this means for you. So my questions are more like, is this going to be a consistent thing? Is this a one-time thing? Should we be worried about this?
I
Should we
mean,
prep for
it's the
this? Something
void. I
along
mean,
those
yeah,
lines.
it could.
That's where my concern is at this very moment in time.
I don't know, because that seemed to answer a bunch of things that I could just get from. I would say, how often does the void take direct
Possession of a soul?
yes.
Usually only if
It's-
they're already a planeswalker of some sort.
Okay, that
Right? Like,
yes.
and
You would have to go to it, or escape here, not be from, or not, well, not be from here, but like
not
have
left-
traveled.
have traveled beyond the material plane at least once, right? Like, because
Yeah,
the void doesn't
Yes.
care, right? Like, the void does not give a shit.
Yeah.
It is the ultimate, I was here first, I will be here eternally. At the end of the day, all things return to me, right? Like,
Yeah.
the void is. And only when someone has already attracted its attention would it then do something like that. And in theory, it's possible to have attracted its attention on the material plane, but not likely, right? Like, you and who you are, you would have heard of, like, some giant religious horribleness that attracted the void to the material plane. That would have just been a thing that would have... You're a high enough level cleric that if somebody started making sacrifices to a void on the material plane...
Yeah, you don't just wander into it, that sort of thing. And you kind of
No.
have to, either you have to purposely, okay, how much of consequences it could be for us that it had direct contact with us in that last moment? It's gonna be the...
For you all personally?
No, for the being, for Ven.
For Ven, yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah,
For,
yeah.
For Ven,
Yeah.
not immeasurable, but not significant, right? Because
Yeah,
you're
I
already
think...
dedicated to
I think it's like one of those things where it's like if you contact it, it now has interest in you, sort of thing, or
Yeah, it's more
it's
along the
drawn to you.
lines
Like
of
I think that's one thing she didn't want it to be like a beacon
no,
for it to
it
for
would
it to try and yeah
yeah, it there is someone else who already has a claim upon your souls.
yeah
So this was more of a wrong place, right time,
mm-hmm.
rather than a you now have the attention of the void upon you.
Okay. I think once those questions are over, I think Ven kind of like jumps, like kind of like falls back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's concerning. Looking at Gunnar.
Ooh, Gunnar, you're standing right there. Hey, can you roll me
I'm so sorry, Gunnar.
I would just like to point out various things. Gunnar, you're standing right there. Could you make me a wisdom saving throw?
I can.
I mean, you have I mean,
24.
oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. You saw briefly this distortion in the air that pulled in the soul as the soul began to retreat from the animated body. And you saw momentarily out of the corner of your eye this kind of fracturing ideologically of Ven before it snapped back into a single being.
Gotcha.
But, you know, you're fine. Cord has a real tight hold on you.
Indeed. All I can think of is now with Kung Fu grip. So, yeah, this does not look good, but they are gone. Are we sure they're gone?
We're pretty sure they are gone. Or if they're not gone, they're someplace else and will not be returning here anytime soon. But they seem to have contacts of some consequence, and I guess whatever is in there, they wanted. And it also must be of some consequence to bring that into the situation.
Well, I guess we'll have to find out what's going on in there. So, let's hurry
Speaking
up
of
and,
that, why it's unusual for a wizard to tolerate having this much activity and interest around their tower without having to figure out what's going on and what is going on.
Before I answer that question, which is a very good question, by the way, it is a very important question for everyone involved. Then, what is your passive perception?
Passive perception is 19.
Cool. So you would see the big shiny thing that Gunnar is holding. Because it's not small.
Mm-hmm.
It's a chain. A platinum chain with a fist-sized chrysoberyl and a number of smaller ones radiating around it that you would actually recognize as being from the Imperium.
And what is this exactly? Like,
It's a-
GM.
It's a Silouise antique. It is, at first glance, a big honkin' fist-sized chrysoberyl, which is it's a pretty stone. I will put a link to a pretty image of it in. They're like green. Some of them are really pretty, but it's a fist-sized neon green yellow kind of combination that looks kind of like this.
Hmm.
I'll put the link in chat. So this is what it looks like, everybody. And then this
Oh.
is what it looks like.
On a chain.
And there are a bunch of smaller ones around the outside.
What does that mean as far as like what it meant to the to Stool?
It was the property of one of the noble houses.
Oh.
It was a symbol of one of the noble houses. And you
Which
don't need to
one?
roll for it based on who you are.
Mm-hmm.
You get that one for free.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not small,
Mhm.
right? Like this is, you know, probably about 3 pounds just to hold the thing.
Huh. Gunnar, we don't recall you ever having something like that. What? How?
It was on the mage.
Hmm.
Along with this brooch.
Interesting. Pointing at that is something of significance. It's very old.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very old. Something that you wouldn't expect on a mage. Expect to see someone more well connected a couple thousand years ago. Curious to what it's doing here and why they have it.
Probably worth trying to find out.
Hmm. That with the void and their interest here, certainly that is a sign. I don't think it's a coincidence that those things are here. Oh, we should be careful. And I'll have to think about that thing for a little while. It's gonna take a little bit of time for us to sift through and figure out exactly what it is. But if you want to hang on to it, feel free. But
Do you mind checking the mage for other things?
oh yeah, absolutely. We will investigate.
All right, click the investigation while we see what Civ and Irsa are up
Oh,
to.
we are not doing. We both.
Well, it's a 10, so you're gonna find a
10.
couple more things other than. But
Yeah.
we'll circle back around to that.
Okay.
Irsa, what are, and Ven or not? Civ, sorry.
The other one syllable name. Yrsa would pull out her 10 teeth, and then I don't think giants are notorious for having lots of loot in their pockets. So I think she'd kind of be like, well, got the teeth, that's cool. These weapons are a little too big for me to carry, so I guess I take those. And then go try to help our mage friend open the door.
Civ, by this point, Malon's got the key out and like turning, and you realize when he puts his hand on the door that it kind of alights with a variety of runes, and you just see him sigh as he starts putting the key in one and turning it multiple times in one direction, pulling it out, and then putting it in another and turning it in the other direction, and then pulling it out and then turning it into another, and it's taking him like 5 minutes to unlock this door, and you just see him going, like reciting the combination in his head out loud, trying to remember how to open his teacher's warded locked door because arcane lock
Like
is bitch.
after like a minute, I'm just like, is this normal? Are you?
It's not that it's abnormal, it just, these doors are very difficult.
Do you want me to kick it in for you?
You might explode yourself and the rest of us.
Is
Please
that a
don't.
no?
I would personally
don't.
request not.
Okay.
Hey, Ursa, how much health do you have
Right now,
at this very second? Yeah, I'm just curious.
6.
Just curious.
By the point, he finally gets it open. You hear this giant click, and then a shift.
It looks real bad.
Ursula looks
We
fucked
both
up.
do. We do not look good.
Everybody looks sucked up. You hear this click, and then the sound of stone rolling back, and the door slides into the wall. And as he steps forward, the lights in the candelabra on either side of the door light up, and then kind of straight down the main hallway. And it's a very kind of simple combination room that this square rectangular room is entered into. It's a little bit of a hall. There's one doorway off to the side, just like right inside the main door, that looks kind of like a small storeroom. And then the rest of this main hallway is basically like open kitchen and entertaining, quote-unquote, space. And as Malin enters, the lights kind of continue on. And you can hear coming from down through this, grand hall, long house kind of situation. You can see where the spiral staircase of the tower connects. And you can see that Malin just kind of calls up to the stairs and is like, Master Karastan, are you all right? Are you well? Do you require medical assistance? I think we have a healer that could assist you. I mean... And there's a pause, and then a voice shouting down going, I could use a hand, perhaps.
I've got hands, and I'll walk on in.
Yeah.
I'd love to put my hands on a wizard.
Thanks, Lindy.
Yeah.
You can make your way down through this main, it's a very nice, it kind of feels like a longhouse that you know, amongst the various tribes and nations that you've been around, particularly amongst the Shnai and the Frazudi. There's this perception of it's welcoming. It actually feels, particularly for you, very much like the Shnai. And
Cool.
about 3/4 of the way, kind of proceed up these stairs. They're big stone steps that are going around the tower, and at various points there's little globes with lights in them. Then there's little offshoots that very obviously lead to various rooms with books. How familiar is Yrsa with magic?
She's seen a lot of magic tricks.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say her favorite one. It's not actually magic.
It's bigger on the inside.
Nice. Okay. I don't think Yrsa notices that.
Yeah.
I think she's just like, wow, it looks bigger than I thought it was gonna be.
Fair.
But doesn't put it together. It's just like, man, they've really utilized the floor space of this building well.
And about
she's a little slow.
About a story and a half up, you just halfway leaning out of one of the rooms, you see this older appearing individual. Looks not quite full elven, but not quite fully human either.
Okay.
Not
half elven.
Half elven, maybe a
Maybe.
little bit less, depending
Sure.
some mixed heritage of some sort. His hair is fully white.
Cool.
There are a little bit of laugh lines, but his hair is whiter than you would expect given the appearance of age on his face or everything.
Look, I don't know who his parents were. Maybe one of them had white hair. He could be albino. I don't know.
Exactly.
It's just like
Um,
whatever. He looks.
He's
I
a
looks like
wizard. He could have made it that way. Who knows?
He could have.
He could indeed have done a lot of these things. You can also see, it's not hard, that he is bleeding slightly from under the ribs.
Oh, I'm gonna need you to take your clothes off.
I don't think I can move my arm to do that.
Oh, I can do that for you then. Can I go over and just like rip the front of the clothes open, like the shirt or whatever?
like a basketball players takes out like a
Yes.
takes off
Yeah,
the training
like-
things like
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm real strong, so I feel like I could just rip the fabric without
Mm-hmm.
hurting him, and then yeah, that looks injured,
He's
And
a
then
wizard.
and then use my 5 points of lay on hands that I have.
I mean, a wizard, that's an easy fix. You
Yeah.
you mend and it's back to how it was. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, he's not upset with this. As you kind of like poke him with, what does this
Oh
look
no,
like?
I had a better idea. I'm gonna
Okay.
kiss and make it better,
Oh,
and-
there we go.
and then it gets better. That's what I do. Oop! All 5 points. I only have 5 points, so just what? And then it actually heals. I'm like, damn, I'm good. I don't realize that I have healing hands yet. I'll get there after another use or two.
Yeah, no. As you say
Feeling
that,
something.
as you say, "Damn, I'm good." You hear in the back of your mind, "Yeah, and I make you better." But he will heal, and then he will cast Mending on himself as he kind of stands up.
Oh,
5 points of lay on hands is good enough to get him up and walking, but he was fucked up.
yeah. I know the feeling.
Everybody except for Malin is fucked up, and then maybe
Yeah. I
gave him,
maybe Gunnar. I think Gunnar was doing okay,
I
I
right?
only have
I have-
6 hit points. I gave him 5.
This is so
Ryan.
quintessential, like, wizard. All of us are on the door of death, and he's like, "Oh, I'm bleeding a little bit from under my ribs.
No,
I might
Can't
be
move my arm.
dying."
no.
I stubbed my toe.
Ursa, could you please roll me an awareness?
I stubbed my toe.
As
Take me to.
Karsten
I-
goes to try and say something to you after you kiss it, make it better.
Perception. Hell yeah. Nat 20, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Mhm.
go.
Karsten, as you do this, tries to push you away as you see a distortion of light as one of the shadows moves as it shouldn't. And
Uh-oh.
goes, and like trying to push you out the door so he can kind of close it behind him.
Uh-huh.
And
But I did kiss and make it better.
you
so
did,
that's-
and it's
then we're good.
it's less about that and more about he's honestly concerned about what's in that room.
Mm. That's fine then. I got a smoochie wizard.
Mhm.
We'll live some more smooth moves on later.
So
I hide the wizard wand. Maybe.
consent is always encouraged. What would you like to do?
I just I'll stand on the other side of the door and he just shut in front of me and be like, "Do you need more help with anything?"
Because he's trying to do it so the two of you are on the same side of
Oh,
the
so
door.
the two of us are on the same side of the door. Oh, then yeah, I'll help him close the door. That's easy. Just
Yeah.
strong.
And he kind of like is trying to hold it up, but you can see that he's actually very physically injured.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
I'm
Relatable.
strong. I'm like I got like
Mhm.
20 strength. I'm
Um,
good. You need to hold this shut? I can hold this shut.
I think so.
I've got great stamina.
Individual with a big blade and not nice.
Oh.
You're very nice, by the way. Hi, I'm Kirsten. Nice to
Oh
meet
my
you.
Hi,
God.
you're
Oh.
so pleasure to meet you.
Here we go.
Thank God.
I understand that there's a lot going on right now, but we should chat later.
I mean, totally. I appreciate it. You have some very impressive biceps.
Thank you. I've started working out.
I'm coming up. I finally have caught up.
Yeah.
I've been going up the
You,
stairs.
you would hear the
I'm like-
flirtatious tone of Yrsa on your way
I'm
up.
like, do you know any good gods? We're trying to set her up with a god. Oh my god, why do you have so many steps?
I thought you
Usually
liked
it's
This place
cardio.
isn't-
Usually it's a
This is even so
distraction, but
tall.
apparently somebody in there is with a big shiny thing that I can't find. And if it was
But it's
better
shiny
prepared-
and big. How can you miss it?
I did not prepare see invisibility today.
Oh, they're invisible. Do you have a bag of flour?
No, that was my other problem. It's also books. I didn't. And you can see like this look on this fat man's
Glitter?
face of like, I would have just lit everything on fire, but they're my books.
Hmm.
Do you have any flour?
No, my friend does though. They're the one with the
They're
with
the
all
one
the
who cooks.
food. Yeah.
I've got a lot
They
of
were
things in this
investigating
bag. Not
one
a
of
lot
the
of
people
flour.
that we killed outside.
Thank you. For
So
that, by the
they'll
way.
be up.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Uh-huh. So,
Got some rope. Lots
Sid
of rope.
and Ursa are trying to hold the
Silk rope.
door.
And we're very nonchalantly too, because we're
Yeah,
both really
just-
fucking strong. We're
Yeah,
just leaning on
20
it.
strength.
And it's just,
You would notice that Karistan is frantically flipping through a book, and scratching his head, and then looking around, kind of going "fuck," and like stabs into the wound that Ursa just kind of mostly
Oh,
healed.
just fix that.
Yeah, I know, but I need the. I got anything better to write with? And he starts writing runes on the door.
I had some ink. It's fine. You know what? I'm not going to stop your creative process.
Ink was not going to be as good.
I mean, I've got a lot of blood coming out of me.
Yeah, honestly, just touch
you
us.
need to read it.
And if you say
We're
that, if you say
actively
that,
bleeding.
if he says
Absolutely.
thank you for that. And he will poke one of
Yeah.
yours and start
Yeah,
drawing
that's fine.
runes as he's going to ritually cast
Solves
arcane
foreplay.
lock.
Yes.
Oh, just foreplay.
He is ritually casting arcane lock to keep.
Yeah, I'll just like hold the leg out like, a little bit so you can dip into it a little easier. I've got like, I'm sure I've got a big gash, like the thigh, and just like lean. I'll do the lean.
It looks very impressive. He's a little bit shorter than you, but not significantly shorter than
Fine.
you. He
That's fine.
That's fine.
That's not the right thing that I needed to open. I needed to open this. Pup.
I wish this was the first time that I've heard Yrsa offer to let someone dig into her wounds.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely not the first time.
Won't be the
Sorry.
last.
Inkwell and Dorleen.
I needed to update the sorry. I needed to update the drive.
Ooh.
There we go. Then in Gunnar, as Kirsten is now using blood to ritually cast arcane lock on this door to keep whoever is out. In, I guess is more accurate statement. What are the two of you doing?
Oh, speaking of that, what did I find on our friends
Your friend. What
Randrin.
did you find on your near friend?
with a 10
Randrin?
investigation? Yeah, Randrin.
You find a dagger.
Ah,
2 scrolls
hmm.
and a ring on the right hand.
The ring
Not
or
shiny.
the ring or a dagger have hints of anything arcane on them.
They both do.
Ah, okay. You know what? I'm gonna take this moment. I'm going to identify both these. 'Cause I don't want to carry these into a wizard's tower without knowing what they are.
One of them is a ring of mind shielding,
Oh, okay.
And the dagger is a +1 dagger of poison.
Oof, okay.
So it's a +1 dagger, plus if it hits, you add an additional D4 of poison damage.
Mm-hmm.
And the possibility of the poisoned condition.
Ah. Okay. Nothing too dangerous. Poison. And didn't want their mind being read. Hold up the ring.
I think everybody else is inside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should see what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick up the corpse and carry it over to the tower, but I'm not bringing it inside.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just set it against the wall.
Yeah.
And then walk inside.
You know, while we're doing this, I'm gonna take this moment to cast Aura of Vitality.
Oh, go right ahead.
And you might as well just get this started. So, I'll spread the eviling around everybody. So it's 20d6, right?
Yeah,
10 rounds per.
Once you get
yeah.
everybody, you can get up to him.
Yeah, we can get-
Madeline, by this point, has also ascended the stairs. He's breathing a little heavy, and leaning over. And Karsten looks at him and goes, "You weren't keeping up with your cardio, were you?"
It's gonna
"You
take
should not be
Ven."
breathing heavy, just climbing my stairs.
I offered to tutor him in cardio, but he turned it down.
I do calisthenics every morning, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, 21 per person.
I object. Look, I do cardio on occasion, just not that kind of cardio. And he kind of looks awkward as he realizes what he just said, and just like the tips of his ears start to turn red. Malin, come over here and finish adding your award glyph on this door. As he's gonna kind of lean back away now that the arcane lock is on the door.
I think if when Ven and Gunnar Ven is gonna be winded. This is not like
Is that too much
hate
cardio?
stairs. walking straight. Climbing like stairs, not so good.
Yeah, it's about 3 floors of stairs.
Yeah. Also got tired.
Also
Gunnar
just
will not-
very
will,
fucking hurt.
will not be winded, but will have definite muscle fatigue at this point. However, we're all getting some healing, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all getting like 21 points of healing.
Woo!
So,
Ooh,
I have 27 hit points.
Oh my god, okay.
suddenly feeling so much better.
what's up
Almost
with the,
halfway up.
Tripled my health.
the cult-looking door over there?
Oh.
There's an invisible guy inside. Ven, did you have flour? Oh, he had a big sword too, shiny.
Oh, this is blood.
Yeah, it's mine, mostly, although slightly hers.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Karsten.
Donated. It's coming out of me anyways. Why waste it?
Be more careful with it. People can bind you to it with that.
What?
Powerful.
Yours is like the first I've heard of this.
Blood is
Not that kind of bind, but
Oh.
more
but
like your
blood
soul.
is
Oh.
life. Blood is connected to your spirit and
Well,
can
right
be
now it's
controlled.
locking a door. I think it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's just mostly for locking. I'm totally not going to use it for any other purposes. Plus, I figure he can just die in there. There's no external windows. Suffocation should happen sometime.
Oh, it's an airtight
Like
room.
there's no air in there.
He just kind of. I have to maintain the integrity of my books.
Oh,
Air
it's
is
an
bad for
archive.
books.
Yes, they can degrade quite frankly quickly.
Yeah.
So keep them in the bag of holding. Got it.
Yes, actually, if you have a demi-plane, that's even better, but a bag of holding works really well. Technically, this is a demi-plane that I control, so I just pulled all the air out of it.
Oh, yes, he'll be. I give it most of 7 minutes. This is your con times +2 is how long you can hold your breath. Sophie is a +5 in con. Yeah.
I mean, I don't assume any other, perhaps he has some other means, but, 10, 15 at the outside, just to be sure.
Sure.
Would you like, my apologies, thank you all for coming. How about some, beverages.
I love beverages.
What do you have?
The answer is yes. What would you like? I prefer being a good host, and that means catering to all possible dietary requests.
Do you have suddenly I don't know what to choose. I've been given every option and now my brain is like going Siv's brain. And I just how about a mug of mead?
Sure. Is there a particular vintage or variety you prefer? I mean, I
Um,
do some pretty good trade with the oh god, now Deirdre's screwing it up. Balstor and the Hold of Stonefast, basically.
yes, I would love to have it. Yes.
Grand. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and he goes, turns to talk to the air. He says, we'll be having beverages in the fourth. No, we're not going there. First floor sitting room. Bring some of the very nice dwarven fire mead, wine.
Any Schnai whiskey? Schnai.
Yes. I believe we have some Schnai whiskey. If not, we definitely have Frzuti, which is odd. I know I shouldn't offer those, but we have Schnai whiskey.
Good with it. Good with that. Either one.
All of the snacks. And then he kind of looks at Malin and goes, double the snacks. He hasn't eaten yet. And you can feel, even without anything else going on, the, like, familial care that Karistan has for Malin. That Malin is also kind of like, you know, that teenage, please don't embarrass me in front of my
He's
friends.
acting like my son.
Yeah. But he's older than your son.
Yeah, I know my son's only in his 30s.
Mm-hmm.
20s, late 20s, early 30s, something like that. He's old enough.
It's got a bab.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so he'll lead you down a flight of stairs to one of those little rooms that you bypassed, Yrsa, and walk into. As he walks in, the door kind of wavers for a moment and then shifts. And it's a very nice sitting room, large central fireplace, multiple overstuffed armchairs with the high winged backs, one love seat off to the side, small low tables, stone floor, but there's like a thick woven carpet. Anyone with survival could roll it.
Sure. Boop. 7.
It has very interesting patterns.
Ah, cool. Patterns.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Please, sit and yes, all of those. Thank you. Don't worry, we have snacks coming for everyone. Does anyone have any dietary restrictions? I apologize, I should have asked.
I don't typically ingest poisons.
Yeah, I don't usually encourage that. I have traded with a couple orcs that find, you know, certain types of poison a positive thing, and I have drunk with dwarves. I don't recommend that.
It's great drinking with
No, dwarves who like to pull the poison as a additive to alcohol just for the flavor aspect. I don't recommend that. But other than that, no, I don't do poisons myself. It seems ineffective. Please. And he kind of sits down in one of the high back chairs next to the fireplace. There's a heat coming from the fire. It's pleasant. You're comfortable. Malin sighs and takes the chair to his left. And then just shakes his head and goes, "You had a mage outside your door, 4 frost giants, and an assassin. How was your day going?" "Not right now, Malin. We have guests. Thank you, by the way, for taking care of the kerfuffle outside. Did you happen to ascertain who was the individual causing problems?"
We got a name. And
Yes.
what was the name again?
The name was
Randrin.
Randrin Maravest.
He was once one of my pupils for a time, not one of the better ones.
Oh, really?
Something about birthright and retrieving it from the tower.
Yes. Apparently he had messed with powerful elements involving the void to get it.
Well,
That's
I
main concern to you?
well, I know that he, after he had left my tutelage, failed horribly, I should say. He went on an excursion to the Kurisk Mountains and became quite mad after the fact, apparently, according to stories and rumors. Sought a magical orb. Don't seek another wizard's orb. It never ends well. I just throwing that out there.
Any orb of consequence in particular? Or?
Some sort of evil controlling thing that reached out beyond.
That doesn't quite narrow it down. Any specifics on that?
I wasn't there. I don't really know. I got rumors after the fact. Orb, madness.
Well, maybe it should because it came right to your door.
Well, he built up a number of small things in his weak little mind. I was not informed of what orb. He was merely looking for a magical orb.
And the object of him coming all the way here, attempting to assault your tower.
I'm assuming some level of vengeance with became a hyperfixation within the fracturing of his mind.
Specifically, Ven is going. I want to know, Ven. We want to know if this wizard is telling truth, because they can be
How would you like to do
withholding. Just the usual, just insight. I'm not going to do anything magical. That's
Yeah.
escalates.
Feel free to
That
roll
escalates things more than.
Insight.
Yep.
Where is it on this? There it is. 14.
He is being as honest. He doesn't know
Okay.
what orb it was. He wasn't there.
Yes.
He did hear that Randrin became hyperfixated on him for whatever reason, but to his knowledge, he has no clue like what they were doing or why.
Well, they seem to be specifically asking the the corpse. Seemed like he wanted something in particular, his birthright. If that rings any bells.
Birthright? He doesn't have a birthright. He's halfway decent, noble, whatever, third son from Ernst. He has no birthrights.
anything that he could think has a birthright. Anything that could possibly have any ties.
No, I mean, he was not a very good, at the end of the day, he was not a very good wizard. Then,
Mhm.
roll me just a straight, you can roll it as a wisdom save.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have proficiency in that, correct?
Yes.
Wisdom proficiency is 24.
Mm-hmm.
You recall when the void swallowed that being,
Mm-hmm.
a distortion, right? And for
Yes.
a moment it almost pulled you in, or a portion of you. But there was that distortion that kind of split. And you
Mhm.
think, based on the description that Karistan is giving you, that the madness that this magical orb caused within Randrin
Mm-hmm.
may have pulled a personality that wasn't his into him.
Ooh. Ooh, yeah. Mm. Can happen with magical items. Not strong enough. Things can happen. Well, maybe whose orbit was, maybe has more consequence than you think, because while he may have gotten hold of it, it might have gotten hold of him.
Again,
Who-
don't touch another wizard's orb.
Mm-hmm.
Never ends well. And you can kind of see out of the side of your eye, Civ and Irsa, Malin mouthing along to this statement as if it is something he has heard multiple times.
Yours is just trying to figure out if orb is a euphemism.
Mm-mm. Well, I'm here out of figure that we should be the one to know did come to your doorstep. However, you claim to take that warning is not up to us.
Well, and at that moment, refreshments appear. There's a drift in the air, the distortion as various drinks are provided for whoever wishes. Also, snacks. You know, cheese, crackers, tea sandwiches.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck up that charcuterie board.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Please, make yourselves at home while we, reorder things. And he kind of looks around, as you can kind of see, like, multiple issues of distortion are kind of, like, patching little things and putting things away. And you think that the, without a roll, you think that the unseen servants are cleaning up what was probably a little bit bigger of a fight
Mm-hmm.
before, Karistan was able to, with your assistance, trap this assassin in an archive room. But please, relax, take your rest. I can have rooms made up for you. Happy to provide assistance.
Malin said you wanted to see this, and he'll pull out Dawnsinger.
Ah. Lovely thing, isn't it? He kind of, like, drifts a hand over it, but he doesn't touch it.
Mhm.
Not Try.
Smart.
Try.
Such tales it has within it. Such stories. And Gunnar,
Hmm.
what's your passive perception? Excuse me, what's your passive insight?
12.
There's a look that comes over his face of yearning, but not for possession of the sword, right?
Hmm.
Yearning for validation. And you look again as he's looking at this sword and staring at it, and he kind of cocks his head. And you would notice, as Ursa did, the slight point to his ears, the angle of his jawline. This is a man whose breeding is obviously mixed of some sort.
Hmm.
But shares similar features to the Schnai.
According to
But,
Mountains information, this is one of a number of swords who belong to the Schnai nobility.
It's true, and yet slightly untrue. I can't guarantee they were all nobles that possessed them at one point. 4 blades.
Don Singer says that one of them is nearby.
I'm not surprised it recognizes its own. And he gestures to the right. And on a table that kind of appears, there's a box. Long, low. This is, as I lose my place in my notes. Oh, yeah, here we go. This is Greenswath. I think it wishes to go with you. And he kind of gestures. And a golden scimitar in an ornate scabbard. Intricately tooled, painted leather, white with gold accents.
Nice sword.
Yes, they are unique and special. Do you... I'm quite sure, the stories... I'm not sure how many stories you know of these weapons.
None.
They were very, very ancient. 4 blades of Kurask. Barbarian magic, barbarian weapons, great heroes of the Schnai and the Frizuti, back when they were one people, supposedly, in the past. These things are all part of history.
Mm-hmm.
However, there is some evidence I can be fairly certain about, even though most of the Seloise peoples left much unrecorded. 4 weapons are lost and scattered. At least they have been for quite some time. There is some innate magic in their casting that prevents diviners or scrying upon the weapons themselves. It's only with the weapon in hand that one could find the others. If one could hold it and activate it. Legend says that if the four blades are brought together, greatness shall fall upon the peoples. Legends say that a great force is unleashed, which will beat down the enemies of the people. The power of the weapons themselves will be greatly magnified and expanded when the four become one, and a greater force will inspire the Schnai people to glory and dominion. I speak of a power, the great god of the north. And he looks mesmerized by that story in a way that's both joyful and a desire so much for it to be true. And a desire for that, not just the swords themselves existing, not just the swords coming together or being in the hands that they belong in, but for that shift of power, for that rise of the quote-unquote barbarian tribes in the north rising up against their enemies. In a way that definitely seems, again, that desire for validation, that desire for a connection.
Interesting. Swords, the legends. What does it mean to you? Why the particular interest in it?
He kind of smiles at that and doesn't really answer. What it will do is drive the bandits out of Stonefist and the murderous rabbles out of the Bone March, sweep through the lands of the rovers and to the south. Who knows where the great power will prevail and be led to glory? Shall Seluise rise again, my friends? And you see that slight pause, Ven, on friends. Like he wanted to say something else.
Yeah, I think, I think...
Kin, maybe.
I think what Ven will kind of like bristle and just like... Some things are meant to stay hidden. Some things are meant to stay. When they fall, they fall.
This, and he gestures to the sword, this golden scimitar next to him. This I have had in my possession for 10 years now. Nothing happened. That, he gestures to Dreamsinger, still in Gunnar's hands, I believe. That wants to be known. And when things wish to be known, I have no control over how they become known. They will. But, shouldn't get so excited at my age. Bad for your heart, you know.
I've been... Oh, sorry. You don't look a day over 40.
There's a little smirk at that. It's like, thank you. I've worked very hard at that. I'll be 102 next week.
Really? That's almost as old as I am.
Oh, that's quite old.
I know I'm not as old as some long-lived beings, but feel pretty good for my age. Mostly. Yep. But please, rest, recover. We can talk more in the morning as you desire. this apparently wishes to go with you.
Thank you.
Yes, you're being very hospitable.
Yes, thank you for the hospitality. Apologies for my initial bristliness.
You're not trying to stab me, so I'm taking that as a positive for the day. Malin, your room is made up, if you wish. The rest of you, individual rooms? Anybody? Individual rooms. And he kind of snaps his fingers again, and you see that light air distortion kind of float in. Empty cups are taken away. Empty plates are taken away. And he leads you. He would kind of get up a little stiffly from the chair. Please, this way. And leads you away from the door that you came in to another door that's kind of 90 degrees on the eastern wall of this room, and leads you down a hall and gestures, please make yourselves at home, any one of these rooms. Breakfast is at 8:30 if you wish to join me. Have a pleasant night. And he kind of wanders away. Malin will look at all of you and go, thank you. I thank you. He didn't say thank you, did he? Well, maybe he did. But
You can thank me later. So sorry.
And gestures, make yourselves comfortable, and I have a question as a GM.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you spending? Who is spending what night where?
Like in this building?
Yeah, I mean, are you is anybody sharing rooms, or is everybody having their own room? I should be more specific.
Typically have our own rooms if that's available.
It is available. I'm merely asking if that is what you wish.
Yeah,
So I
I'd
want
share
to
room with
share
the wizard, but
unless it's
I think
Irsa, I'm good
Yeah.
with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think we need some recovery time before room sharing happens. So
Yeah, those 5 hit points were damn helpful. Was it one?
oh no, look. So I brought him up to my level. We both had 6 for a while.
Yeah.
Aw,
Yeah,
that's nice.
Twinsies.
Twinsies.
yeah, but unlike you, he didn't benefit from the aura of vitality that Ven cast.
No, that's fine though. He's
Sucks
cool.
to
He's
suck.
cool. We'll get a rest. Get a rest.
All right, so as you all go in, what?
Before we move on to the next scene, while he was speaking, definitely remember that time I said Civ will sit there and look like she's very interested in what people are
Yep.
saying, but I'm not really paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
What I was instead doing this time is I was observing them, this creature outside of combat, and I would like to use Know Your Enemy just to find out, just to know.
Okay.
I would like to know. Oh, I didn't know that was an option. I would like to know what their total class levels are. I thought I could only do fighter. Turns out I could have all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah,
no,
as he was
you can
standing there-
you can have all of them. You can have all of them. Hold on, I need to find a thing.
Level 20
Yeah.
assassin rogue. Does that no? Uh-oh.
Yeah, so like sitting there eating very politely,
Okay.
definitely nodding along, but really I'm just
Yeah,
like,
my question for you is, with, okay, I just need to know. Okay, haha, there we go. You're asking what their total levels are?
class levels, yes.
Class levels. Cool. He's a 10th level wizard.
Oh,
He's
okay.
just a straight up 10th level wizard. He's an exhausted 10th level wizard who may
No,
be out of
relatable.
spell slots and down to cantrips.
But does he know Mage Hand?
Please.
I
He
think that's
should.
a level
He
one
really,
at least.
it's gonna be disappointing if he doesn't. That's it.
Yours will be
Here's-
very
here's-
disappointed.
Here's
Yes,
the
you
here's the problem. Converting a 2nd edition character to 5th edition when certain spells don't exist in 2nd edition.
Yes.
So I'm going to say yes, he does.
Great.
I was gonna
all
say,
I
the real
need
question
to
is how you feel about unseen servants.
Because he has a shit ton of those.
Also fine. Those are great. Yeah, yours will sleep. She'll sleep with like the door cracked open a little bit.
Yeah, okay. We're gonna put a pin in that because we're gonna take our break on this, and we'll come
Oh my
back to the
God.
question of what happens with the door. After
Sure,
the
it'll
fact,
be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
So it's
I'm either gonna get
There's a killer.
assassinated.
in the house. And you're like, I'm just gonna keep a crack door just in case. Just in case. Me and my 20 hit points.
I'm out here wooing deities. Maybe I'll woo assassins too. I don't know.
I mean,
The complex.
we'll find out.
I'm
Sorry.
absolutely a complex.
We will find out. We will come. We will come back and we will see everything. But stretch, bio, refresh, do all of that good stuff, and we'll see you on the flip side, everybody. Bye bye. Hi, everybody. I'm sorry. I was backstage talking about something entirely tangential that didn't have anything to do with this, and, you know, we're fine. But, Ursa, roll me a persuasion at advantage.
Oh, hell yeah! Proficient. 21, baby.
21.
21.
It,
That dice roll can drink.
yeah, if you've left the door open,
I sure have.
the unseen servant has made a note of this.
Mm-hmm.
And with that note, right, comes the knowledge that if you wish, there would be a slight knock at your door.
Oh, hell yeah. Of course Yrsa wishes. Yrsa's always.
Consent is important, particularly to wizards.
Yeah. No, Yrsa is so down. We've been traveling for so long.
Yeah. Well, I do apologize. I needed a little bit of a... And he looks a shit ton better.
I don't.
He would offer you, by the way...
She would have cleaned up a bit, you know, because, you know, you gotta be...
There's a...
But, you know, she's not worried about it. You need
I mean,
stitches. It's D&D.
you fought like giants. You probably look like post battle like a Dragon Age character, just like.
I would have cleaned up the blood,
It's like,
but like there's still like probably like giant-sized wounds and bruises.
Yeah. He would offer... It's like...
Down to 27. Up to 27 though. I'm great.
He would offer you a bottle. It's purple, shines. If you open the cork, you would know immediately that it is indeed a advanced healing potion.
Oh.
A greater healing potion.
Yrsa would take it now. She'd put it in her bag like, oh, thanks. And keep it for later.
Well, if that's what you wish. And then would reach in to slide his hand up the side of your arm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Into the back of your neck to, like, as he closes the door behind him,
Yep.
pull you in for a
Let's go,
bend over
10th
back
level
breaking
wizard.
kiss.
Yep. I got dexterity.
That's
18
okay.
dex, 20 strength. Let's go.
you can make it a real backbreak.
Yeah, he is not that. Interestingly enough, his strength isn't that great, but he's got damn high con for a wizard and absolutely baller dex.
Great. Fantastic. Let's go.
So
Yrsa's
you'll
gonna have a
very
great
good
night.
Yep.
And I get a healing potion. That's
do.
now in my bag of... That's great, because I don't have any, so...
You have a greater healing potion in your bag of holding from a wizard, you know? But you are not the only person resting this night.
I'm not... But not getting a lot of rest, but yeah.
So, as you do,
Just so you
please,
know, Gunnar picked the room as far away from Yrsa as possible.
I mean, there's
That
no,
was from experience.
there's plenty of sound reduction. It is a wizard's tower. Technically, it might
It's
mechanically
the principle of the matter. He's like, no, we're gonna be as far away.
He does not want to intrude.
Yeah, it might be mechanically that mechanically that this is a permanent magnificent mansion, just mechanically speaking. But you know,
cool.
But so there's plenty. There's what is Civ doing this night?
I am doing my nighttime calisthenics.
Cool.
I am
Oh
using
my gosh,
the
me too.
yeah. Uh, and I am I am keeping myself limber. I have taken the heavier furniture and placed it where the door is. And not that I don't
Mhm.
trust this wizard and their home, but they do have a scary something locked in a room, and I simply would like to not be bothered. Um, so I like put all of that in front of the door, and I like along with locking it, and I take some time to just look over all of my gear, make sure it's all good, working.
Mhm.
There's nothing I need to patch, especially on my armor after being almost crushed
No, your
by
armor
a
is
giant.
your brand new shiny dragon armor is pristine.
Heck yeah. And make sure to just, keep it nice and polished. And aside from that, just doing some late night calisthenics before I go to bed.
Okay. Gunnar, what are you doing in the room farthest from your sister?
Um, he'll probably use the first half for reverie,
Mhm.
and then the second half he'll uh, see what happens when the two swords are actually like connected through him
Ooh.
when he's holding them both.
Could you roll me an arcana?
I can. I don't know if anything will come of it, but I can.
Mhm.
Ooh, a 15.
I'm rolling Arcana too.
I thought Arcana was rolling you.
I mean, maybe.
Equal opportunity here. Probably both. Is a wizard. Um you as you hold it, you realize it's almost like you can either connect to one or the other.
Okay.
Um but as you go into revelry with these swords nearby, you see a flash. A group of 4 wearing outdated but still recognizable colors and fashions of Schnai. The figures themselves are indistinct, but you see clearly Dreamsinger and Green Swath raised above one, and you see the figure holding this golden scimitar of Green Swath is lither, smaller, perhaps female presenting, maybe, but definitely not the same build,
Mhm.
and uses the blade to cast out of.
Hmm.
The figure holding Dreamsinger is agile, mobile, almost dancing across the battlefield. And then you see 2 more blades, both held in hands of tall, sturdy, well built figures who lean more towards a more martial bent, you figure, as they
Mhm.
kind of carve a swath through this battlefield. And then you come back to yourself, and there's a slight sheen on Green Swath that's kind of almost pearlescent, um, shine to the blade. But Dreamsinger seems almost possessive.
Hmm.
Oh. See how it is. Sword.
In almost that kind of jealous lover sort of way.
We barely know each other.
You killed 2 frost giants and a mage with that
That's
blade.
true. And a dragon.
And a dragon.
And a dragon. And a dragon who had been holding it hostage for unknown centuries.
Oh, Stockholm Syndrome. I get it.
No, it's the reverse of Stockholm Syndrome, right? Because
Oh, right. Yeah.
you're the liberator.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah. I get it. No, I will put Greenswath in the bag of holding for now. Thank it for its patience, of course, and assure it that Dreamsinger and I will find its the other 2.
And you see a flash in your mind as you say that, then go to put it in the bag of holding. And it's an image of a figure that you know immediately is Ven, but they are a tall, male-presenting elf with a long single braid about 3/4 of the way down their back. And, like, you feel this desire in the blade for that person.
I'll take note of that. Now is probably not the appropriate time to act on that information. But I will leave it out of the bag of holding then.
Mm-hmm.
Once I'm done with that, typical like prayers and core exercises, that sort of thing. Plate mail is not the lightest thing to carry around, so core exercises are important.
Mm-hmm. Push-ups, sit-ups, kind of similar
Planks.
things that maybe your sister is doing.
More platonically, but yes.
Yep. Rest well, get strong, fight harder.
Yes.
Play hard, fight hard.
Mm-hmm. Ben, what are you doing this night?
Ben's probably gonna have a fairly restless night. I think she has general
Oh my gosh,
discomfort.
me too.
Oh, for
Not for the same reasons.
not for the but just by being in a wizard's tower. Wizard's tower is, for them, it's less. It's not that it's indoors. Is that most wizards like domiciles tend to be a little out of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
And
this
that's
one
something-
is entirely out of the plane.
Yeah,
Technically.
it just they feel a little like disconnected. Like they're not supposed to necessarily be here. But since it's a time of rest and since there's so much unknown, they're going to use this time to try and see if any of Ven's collective knowledge might bring something up, like the things that Ven's past lives, or the souls that are within Ven, what they remember is sometimes difficult to bring up when you have that much, and it's sometimes hard to access it all. Sometimes you need specifically to like ritualize it in order to kind of bring that specific thing up to the surface in order to kind of remember. So mechanically, I think what that's going to be is it's going to be Ven's going to cast Legend Lore on
On what?
we'll just use Dreamsinger because we've had that sword. Like they
Well, don't
want
you
to
have-
know.
Do you have to have possession of the item?
No, I just have to know of the item.
Okay.
Well, you can look at my axe then too later.
I don't want. I know that. Ven has a pretty good idea what where that axe.
I mean, you might not.
I might. I think it's just like in the greater things we can. We'll do the
Alrighty. So
considering that this is gonna be a big undertaking, and the things that were brought up were could have huge consequences on this area, so they would like to at least see if they know anything that could be enlightening of how they should go about.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily trust wizards to know what's good for everybody, you know.
Fair. That's not uncommon.
They love knowledge. They love knowledge, and they love kind of like feeling they have control over things. Those sometimes aren't great through misguided things and stuff like that. So.
Okay.
So I'm bringing up Legend Lore. Yep.
Yep,
So
nope,
I
that's
describe
fair.
it, know the name, and just like it's mostly like. It's like ephemeral stories, things about it.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. No, I
kind
was
of vague
I was
or
just checking.
vague as
some-
far.
Also, I looked at the chat and read Jim's comment, so sorry. K. Dreamsinger is who you are getting to know. Getting to know you, getting to know all about you. All right. So with Legend Lore, you would see a vision, a distortion, as you think about Dreamsinger. And you see 4 figures. And one becomes highlighted. His name comes to your mind. Kirsten Perform. Permfors. And he, as you turn, he's got those very distinctive Schneig royal Alfjarl features. He looks like he could be a brother to Ursa and Gunnar. His hair is long, braided back very intricately. And then those braids are all kind of braided together. His known for around centuries ago. You probably would have heard of him briefly as yourself at that time, because he was known for his prophetic visions. And he was also known for traveling with a party of 4 relatives of various royal families of Kingdom of Schnai. Chieftains' children, at one point they were called. And then they grew up and moved out to start adventuring, Dreamsinger was his. And during this period that they were adventuring together, you knew that one is divine, casts divine magic. More accurately, of a nature sort. And two were warriors. And you see these four figures standing, and you can just make out the features of Perform Kirsten. And he was known for these. The reason you would remember him, it comes to your mind as you start thinking about the blade, and the legend lore's spell brings you this information. You start thinking about him yourself, and you knew of him because his visions were uncannily accurate. And like all whose visions are too true, too real, he was rumored that his mind had fractured because of them. That there was some thing that he did or believed would happen, and that he needed these other three individuals to work together with. Could you make me a wisdom saving throw?
Yeah. 25.
You see Kirsten turn and look at you directly through this vision.
Supposed to be looking at me.
And as he turns and looks at you and makes eye contact, Ven,
Mhm.
what did Ven look like 400 years ago?
I think Ven 400 years ago was a elderly presenting elf. Probably from the same area, like the north.
Mm-hmm. And as you look around slightly within this vision, when Kirsten makes eye contact with you, you look down at your hands and you realize that's who Kirsten sees. And he mouths something at you. Could you roll me a perception check?
Perception, yes. 26.
When the four become one, the gate shall open and be resealed.
And kind of in that combined them but not them.
Mm-hmm.
Opened and resealed for what?
The lock will fail before they become one. It's only with all four can it be resealed. And you feel like this growing heat in your periphery. This distortion of fire that's not quite fire, and this smell of both burning flesh and sulfur. And then it fades, and the figures fade one at a time. Kirsten last, with a slight, not smirk, but in a smile in a way that says he knows his message was heard. A relief kind of smile.
Yeah, Ven will kind of like jolt from the state that they were in and just kind of sit there and think about it, but we'll well played. Sometimes things don't come true until way after. You won't see it happen. Or see it happen. Universe is strange that way.
And you all gain the benefits of a long rest.
Oh,
Fully
jeez.
healed, you get your hit point, hit dice
asses
back.
whooped.
You get all of these good things back.
Oh,
Hey, Gunnar,
Yes.
I need a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, yes, you do.
Mhm.
18.
You're fine. Hey, Gunnar, you've noticed recently that you've been feeling a lot better.
True. I've had a lucky streak.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's also because my strength is growing over time.
Possibly. Lots of things that could be affecting it. Just, little things to note.
Before breakfast, I'll want to find Ven.
You'll find Ven, still early, but just kind of like maybe the rest wasn't as like necessarily as energizing as you would think. Like there's like they had a kind of uneasy sleep.
Hmm.
Oh, good one.
Morning. Greenswath here seems to know a version of you, and he'll extend a hand with the scabbard scimitar toward Ven. I think you should stay in possession of it.
Ven will nod and just kind of hold like both hands out, kind of like one hand for the hilt, one hand for the blade.
Mm-hmm.
One of us knew of this. It's there. Works of prophecy. The owner of Dreamsinger was the prophet that had great leader of your kind. And wanted to open up and reseal something. Thought it was incredibly important enough that the message that they wanted to send was only received up to now. And that whatever we do here, it will be of great import.
Well then, it sounds like we have more than just a treasure hunt on our hands.
Which means we should also be quite cautious. Prophecy and it's like seems to does have some, well, can ring true, can seem like something. Sometimes we don't quite see how they end up in totality, and we should still be careful. But this is important for your people,
Good to
our
know.
people. So- And Ven will receive the sword if it's given.
Yes, of course. All right then. Breakfast it is. Hopefully something.
How'd you
a little-
sleep?
Oh, I slept great.
It's a little too sterile here. Doesn't feel like the material world.
Sometimes, in order to get adequate rest, we have to accept where we are rather than analyze it.
Oh, we can accept where we are. It's just accepting it doesn't mean that we aren't supposed to be there, which we're not. My god walks the material world and material plane, and we shall have to as well. It's not the outer planes, other places are not for us.
Fair enough.
But appreciate the sentiment nonetheless. So let's see what this wizard has for refreshments and morning breakfast.
Ah, breakfast. Great. And you can hear him walking down the hall. Beautifully tailored robes, well-fit leather pants underneath them, slight smirk on his face. Come, breakfast. Whatever you would like. We have it all. All the time.
You're looking hale and hearty this morning. Seem to have recovered.
Yes, I did rest very well, thank you.
That's great. Well, if that's we're all up, we should wake up the others, see if they want to partake in the breakfast. Make sure I'm sure you have ways of keeping it warm, but always best when it's fresh.
Oh, yes, I always. Come, and he'll lead you through that same hallway door that led to that sitting room that now has a long wooden table, comfortable chairs that are posted, not quite leatherback, but like slightly overly cushioned. You know those wooden dining room chairs with the cushions in the middle of the built into the middle of the chair, of the back. Very nice. Eggs, sausages, bacon, toast, fruit, coffee, tea, Bloody Marys, your choice.
And we'll probably need some coffee, but it's like a little bit of everything, you know.
All the protein and waffles.
I think Ven will be a little. It's like you're gonna need some of that, at least some. Balance it out a little bit. And for health.
Civ, Ursa, what are you doing?
I'm
I
outside
am.
of Civ's door whenever she opens it.
Oh my.
I have, I woke up at my regular early time, did my early morning calisthenics, put on all my armor and get geared up. I moved. Irsa will hear the moving of heavy furniture right away from the door, depending on when they got there. Just like, Not even like scraping, just like the pick up and then the boom
Yep.
of moving furniture. Yeah,
Like,
no, just like straight up and down. And then the click of unlocking the door, and I will open it and I'll be like, "Oh, hi, hello."
Hi. Good morning. Great morning. Did you do your calisthenics?
I did. Although
I
I'd be
did
willing to
mine
do them again.
earlier.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I could
That's
do them
good.
again as well, because I did technically rest between calisthenics and now.
It's as you should. Have to rest the body
Yes.
after calisthenics.
Man. Have I told you how great wizards are?
Mm-hmm.
Mm. I'm starting to understand what kind of exercise we had. Well, I'm glad you were able to relax in this odd space.
Really? You were having a hard time?
I mean, I slept fine. It's just, you
Oh,
know,
good.
little eerie,
Is it?
in this place. Quiet. I'm,
I
you
hadn't
know, I'm
noticed.
used. No, well, I would not figure you would. Surprised to hear you got tired, though. I was so tired you weren't able to notice. Well, there
I was
are,
distracted.
you know, was there something I could help you with this morning, or?
I just wanted to make sure you were getting your calisthenics in, since, you know, we're not outside. I don't know how you do them when we're in an inn, because I never paid attention before. I didn't know if you, like, left early to go outside, or if you just did them in, like, a tiny room, which doesn't seem very good for cardio, but I don't know.
No, but there's other things one can do, you know. Running's not the only way to kind of get your cardio in. So,
You're right, it's not.
I mean, you know what? You are not wrong.
Nope.
And you know, there are other things one can do, exercises
Yes.
that I'd love to show you at some point.
Sure.
If you are interested, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
Good to
We
see
should
that
get
you're well
breakfast.
rested, feeling
Oh,
better.
I feel great. Yeah. So much better than yesterday.
Well,
I had a question
I'm
and it
happy
left
to-
my mind.
oh,
Oh,
okay. Well,
and I got lean in and I got remembered. How many years do you think he's got left in him? Like, a lot.
I don't know. The way he was talking yesterday, that story, it makes me feel that we're on the sunset years, as they say.
That's what I thought too. But then
Mm-hmm.
we hung out last night.
Of course.
Very youthful.
Oh, interesting. Well, I mean, you know, magic men have their weird separate pools of energy, so maybe he pulled
is that
from
how
that.
that works? That could be it.
You know,
'Cause, you know, I was
I-
like, if he's not got a long time, maybe I should like husband him up or something, and then, you know, then I can
I mean,
not have to.
it's a nice place.
It's really nice. I asked for like a midnight snack afterwards. He just floated in. It was awesome.
And he seems like weirdly into like the swords, so like
What do you mean weirdly? Isn't that a normal amount of sword interest?
I think there was something more there, like
Right.
an unhealthy attachment to the tale of it. It wasn't like so much like the sword itself that he
Oh.
was interested, more in like the story attached to them.
And did zone out a little bit during the story.
Yeah, it's just like it kind of just kept creeping me out a little. Like I would zone out and I would think about other things, and then he'd get a weird look in his eyes.
Huh?
Kind of like when you see somebody
Wasn't
that
really
you
looking at his eyes.
want to fight. I mean, what could you see? He was wearing like a lot of clothing.
Well,
Except-
oh, you missed it. I did rip it open to treat his wound earlier. I kissed it and made it better. I think, yeah.
Did
It
make
actually got better. It was crazy. Yeah. I think I've got magic
you-
lips.
You healed it?
It looked
like
worse
the way
before I
Ven
smooched
does?
it. Well, Ben
Interesting.
doesn't smooch to heal. I have to ask Ben if that's a thing.
I can't say I've ever been smooched and healed. So
Well, if
I
you're
mean, maybe-
injured, next time let me know, and I can try to smooch you and see if that fixes it.
you know what? I will maybe take you up on that.
Okay. But first, breakfast.
But first, yeah, and at that moment, you hear like a growl from my stomach. I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Yes.
And maybe you should take. You
Thinking-
had a lot of exercise.
Oh yeah, it's great. I'm thinking eggs Benedict and bacon. Lots of
Oh.
bacon for breakfast.
Definitely take advantage of things. If they had any drink, I have to imagine they have any food.
I think
This
it's
may be
real
our only
fancy.
chance for a while.
Yes,
some
we
of
get a
the-
Bloody Mary. And I'm
Ooh.
like listing off like the fanciest breakfast food items we've had at like inns while traveling, and maybe some from back home, like couple cup. Like you're just gonna eat a hearty breakfast is what is gonna happen when I get there. It's like 3 breakfasts for one person.
All right. As you walk into the room, the again long table, multiple chairs. Karistan would gesture to any of the seats, make yourself comfortable. Interestingly enough, he is not seated at like the head of the table. He's seated in the
Okay.
middle of this long table. And he's not trying to hold court at one end or the other. He's just, please sit, make yourself comfortable, and just kind of gestures. Just say out loud what you would like to eat, and one of the servants will take care of it.
I just rattle off a list, a big long list.
Yes, okay, yeah, it's totally fair. Please, thank you. It does not take long before anything you desire for breakfast is presented.
You're just thinking I could get used to this.
Mhm.
Digs in.
It's very good. Tasty. The advantages of having unseen servants.
Yep.
Take care of anything that you need.
Surprisingly, you know quite a few recipes for them to enact.
Yes, I did take a long period when I was traveling, visiting various restaurants
Hmm.
and adding the collections to my book. I see no reason for a wizard to eat poorly or to forget to eat. And he kind of looks at Malin as he says that. One should engage both the mind and the body. And, take
And
care
I
of
like
both.
raise my glass when he says that. And I'll drink.
It's there's no we have the abilities and skill set. A healthy body leads to a healthy mind. And you can kind of just see him narrow focused in on Malin as he says this in this very obvious, like, I've told you this before. You if you don't think about how, the healthier you are, the better your magic is, all of these things are connected. But swords, yes, you had questions, further questions about the blades.
I don't have questions. We have to find them.
Well, I know
Do you have any ideas of where they may be?
possibly. One I've heard of. One I'm concerned about.
And the
Okay.
concern.
One is currently in the possession of a currently minor, although might change in the near future, chieftain amongst the Frizuti.
Oh.
Hmm.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
Means politics are going to be involved.
And I don't think he'll be able to give it up easily. The other is more
Hmm.
complicated.
How so?
I believe, based on various rumors that I have gathered, attempts to follow further information, all of these things, that the blade is currently been shifted possession. It was in the hands of a individual who was a member of group of bandits, whatever they are, who cares. But the problem is that the blade, then the individual died, attempted to attack the wrong priest of Grumsh.
Hmm.
Oh, them again.
Yes, the only reason I knew about it is because they have taken possession of the blade.
You're taking possession of the blade.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
And are displaying it, perhaps, is what I have heard, as bounty and as a show of how the power of Grumsh.
It might be certainly
Let's
more
go
than
rain on
that.
their parade.
Well, it might be certainly something more than that because it seems that Malin here was specifically targeted by followers of Gramash that we stopped. Their interest might not just be for trophy, or they might be reaching out, wanting to know how to wield it, use it.
So perhaps they know more because they're in possession of one of the blades.
Yes, perhaps that is should be of some concern. Whether or not they have it or not, that they want to wield it or have a thirst to learn how to use it to its fullest potential. And who knows about it? Which is you and Malin so far. At least they've managed to narrow it down to you two.
And you see this kind of look of sadness kind of go over his face. Well, I was contemplating going with you, but they know we're in possession of the blade, or were in possession of the blade,
Well,
and what
it
that
might-
knowledge.
It might not be possession of the blade, it just might be knowledge about the blade. But it wouldn't it'd be good to err on the side of caution in that manner, I guess.
Then perhaps I should not go with you.
I don't think it would be for your best interest to make yourself vulnerable in such a way.
I believe the blade is Stalker. A longsword.
Mm-hmm.
Its properties I do not know.
I'll
But
find out what
the
Dream
room,
Singer can tell me.
you can talk to it. Go right ahead.
Yeah? How do you think I found this place?
And he kind of looks at Malin, like he honestly thought that Malin brought you here, because
For the last leg, yeah, but I was following the blade looking for its partner.
ah,
And then Malin rode up saying, "Oh, the tower is just over here." And I had no complaints from Dream Singer, so we followed.
huh. do you believe the blade is actually sentient? And now you can see where he really is Malon's teacher. Because it's like a switch gets flipped and the researcher comes out.
As I mentioned to Malin, and I'm sure he documented in his copious notes, there seems to be a level of what might be called ego within the blade. If that is the same as sentience, maybe.
An interesting query. Something to consider. Well, I will take care of... I will apparently not be going with you to Geralt and Kendall, and therefore I will spend more time researching.
We would appreciate anything that you could decipher. It seems that these blades are a key to stopping a tragedy. Well, is that what you would call it, Ven, from what you told me? Something bad?
Something of import, not necessarily bad. Could be a precaution. But it's up to the will of these swords to be put to use, and the matter of what she was giving felt it was important.
All right. I have no knowledge of the location of Geralt and Kendall.
Okay.
But from what I've heard, it's on display in the temple there.
Well, at least if it is to be assumed to work the same way as Gunner's sword, then we have no worries about anybody else using it. So that's a win.
Yeah, I mean, each of them seems to have a preference as to who wields them. So
That's
What does the tingle mean? Say between like bites of stew.
the tingle is when it's evaluating whether or not you are one that wishes to wield it.
Oh. And if you don't get it, you get.
I don't know. That hasn't happened to us yet.
That's true. It hasn't happened. We should find someone we don't like and have them hold it.
Yes. But Greenswath was pretty adamant that it wanted to travel with Ven, not with me.
Oh.
Oh. Nice.
We have some history.
Oh. Has it spoken to you yet? Like Gunners has?
Haven't had time to quite yet. But in time.
Of course. Well, I guess we have a direction. And I guess we go. Unless there's something, and I look over at our host, unless there's something else you wish you tell us or give us, I guess, before we leave.
I can provide you rations, provisions. Do you need a couple extra healing potions? I've got a couple of those. Irsa.
Hi.
Could you roll me a wisdom saving throw, please, and thank you?
I sure can.
Right, is this the luck? The luck is
I'm sitting next to my brother.
yours
You
has
are
rolled
sitting next to
super
your brother.
good on every wisdom
Wisdom
save.
saving throw.
Oh.
With advantage, you said? Is that what you said?
No, I said.
No. Then it's just an 8. It's just an 8 then.
I said with your brother, next to your brother, so you get that +2. But no, it is
wishfully
an 8.
asking.
Yeah, there's no harm in asking.
There's no harm in asking.
No, but hey, Irsa.
Hi.
Was the sword pissed? Or in the
your
axe?
axe
Yeah.
The axe pissed.
feels anger at the mention of Grumpsh,
Oh.
and
Oh.
you
Oh, the
Jealous
Grumsh.
much?
really really, 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 really want to just murder everybody in that temple.
Oh, the girl should be.
Okay. I mean, I thought that was the plan anyway.
Yeah, but you don't want to be quiet about it.
Oh. Like when he's saying that the Grumsh one would be more complicated, you're just sitting here like, why would that be more complicated? We just go in and murder everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
But you guys are on the same page.
We're on the same page. It's
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
You also feel,
Yeah.
interestingly enough,
I hear you, Axe. Yeah.
you feel something interesting.
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
You feel that this would be justice and not vengeance.
Oh.
Oh, you guys ass kicked real bad. This is the feeling.
Some history here.
No,
There's
that's who-
like
that's who
like,
used to
I
have.
feel like Hester got the unfavorable end of whatever happened because this feels like we want to get even energy more than it is like I gotta beat him because I whooped his ass and I'll whoop him again. Like no,
Isn't-
this is
Isn't it Grummish that had the axe, or his followers that had the axe before Yrsa?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I
So
got it from
this-
orcs.
Axe
Yeah.
was used in the name of Grummish.
Maybe this is just like the opposite of what Gunnar is feeling with his sword. This one wants revenge.
No, I think it's justice when it's an evil god.
Yeah, potato.
I'm on board.
the
Not that we
paladin-
know.
Wait, time out. GM step back, moving to the side. I would like it duly noted for the internet for eternity when this VOD goes up. The Paladin of Cord is agreeing with the newly minted Paladin Quasi of Hextor that they should go together and kick Grumsh's ass.
Yeah.
Putting that out there.
Man, it's
Yes.
just like
Yeah.
there's a lot of people. That's maybe too
I
many.
mean, yeah, it
people.
was followers of Grumsh who did have the axe, so yeah. Maybe he's a little bitter about it. He's like, well,
The enemy of my enemy kind of thing. But
Yeah.
also, like, some things are just right. And getting up Grumsh is just right. I mean, it just feels good.
Okay. Coming back.
yep. Yeah, Circe is like,
I will
yeah,
note that the cleric of the water does not necessarily feel that way.
no.
I wouldn't expect the Cleric of the Wanderer to feel that way, but I would also like Yrsa
Yeah.
for you to make a note
Okay. Note being made. Space.
that you feel a particular desire when it comes to a particular individual. You don't know who they are yet, but you know that they exist. And you want to crush them under a
Oh.
mill
So-
wheel.
I was gonna ask what kind of desire, but I think you answered that. I mean, although Yrsa could still be like, yeah, I mean, that still doesn't completely clarify.
Like, crush them under what? Because
A-
she
a-
could crush them under many things.
a mill
Yeah.
wheel.
A mill wheel.
Oh,
I don't
Not
believe
my
that
thighs.
was on your
You kind
yes
of want
list.
to grind their bones.
Ooh. Definitely not on
that's-
your
that-
kink list.
that sounds like a euphemism, though.
It does.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
literally,
But literally,
fun.
yeah. That's it's not so fun. Milling is always so much work.
Probably.
You're just like, do I actually have to mill bones? We'll talk about this later.
Do you say that out
Like, I'm
loud?
down. No, I don't think it's just a thought. Yrsa's like, because Yrsa's like trying not to answer out loud as much. Is like, maybe I don't have to talk out loud to it every time. And it's like, yeah, completely on board. That was my thought too. Just slaughter everybody in that temple. Bone grinder? That's so much work. Like, you have to readjust the whole like height of the mill and like readjust. That's all. Just Yeah. I didn't once go on a
Just
tour of a
going
mill and
through
get way too
something.
into it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Doesn't surprise me whatsoever. But so I do not know where to find the city of the Orcord. That
Hold
is,
on. I might be able to know.
are you
I'll hold up
commune-
my axe.
You are attempting to commune with your axe?
I do the divining rod thing. That's no one's told Yursa to stop doing that.
This is true. Could you roll
I
me?
mean,
They really, really maybe should
As
have
you-
at some. We maybe
If
we
you
thought
pick up your
if we
axe-
thought she could.
Could you, as you
Suddenly
do
we're in
this-
polite company. As soon
I
as you
go
pick
to
up
like
the
reach.
axe,
I go to like reach
I'm just
for it,
like,
and you're
maybe
like-
we don't do that.
Oh.
Maybe not in front of polite company. Maybe
right after breakfast. Outside makes sense. And I go
Yeah.
back, just go back to eating.
Or
like
maybe never again.
nothing's-
Yeah,
you
maybe
know.
we don't. Yeah, maybe we don't do that. Maybe we
I mean,
don't.
to be fair,
Yeah,
Gunnar
just-
thought it was a phase and that it was over, but clearly not.
We got we got
It's
to.
only been 24 hours. Or 48, no, 72. 72 hours.
72. So we did like 2 days of travel. So it's been like, yeah, 72 or so.
But
Weren't
how
we
many
told?
how many different hobbies have you changed within 72 hours in the past?
Yeah.
I mean, there's only been a few hobbies you've kept up with.
It's fair. That is very fair.
But the hobbies that she
I
kept
mean-
up with, she's kept up with for, decades.
That's true. And perfected some of them.
Yeah,
Or so I'm told.
yeah.
So, it's just she found a new hobby that she's going to dedicate all of her time to.
I hope not. Using an axe as a divining rod.
It's a weird hobby.
That's not that won't get you as many guys as you think. Or women.
Oh.
Hmm.
In fact, it might get you fewer women than men.
Do we know where the thing is? Since did we ever find out exactly where it was, or were we just told like generally it's over there when we interrogated that one orc?
When
we were
the
attacked.
name of somebody.
The priest, I think. Oh boy, Shirazad and Garek
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kadal.
Mm-hmm. Garel and Kadal, Garel space Enkdal, is the city of the Orc Horde.
Oh.
Oh,
It's probably somewhere in there.
But it's also hidden and nobody really knows where it is.
Just that it's in the mountains.
The name that they gave you was a particular name.
That was our orc friend. Shirazad? Shirazad.
Hold on. I've got names.
It's at least what I
all
have
over
in
the
my notes.
place.
I want you guys to know that my notes say all that information, and then it says Cent 12.
Sharazad.
They have allegiance. Sharazad,
yeah,
Lamau / whatever
Mhm.
is what I wrote.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
Sharazad, who was mentioned as a priest of Grumsh.
He's probably a pretty good candidate.
And it's somewhere up in the Griff Mountains. And population equals a lot. That is what I have in
Yep.
my notes
You
about
know
the issue.
you know that the city is rumored to be somewhere like it's a major city, right? Like we're talking 15 to 20 to 30,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Feel that maybe.
Maybe we should have asked them where the city was. Oh well. Maybe we just go into another city. There'll be a bunch more assassins that come at us. And then we can interrogate one of them. They said they were following us, right?
Yeah.
That was the shtick?
Yes.
Close enough.
Or maybe Gunnarsson can tell us. where it is. I mean, one way or another, we have to head into the city to offload. Because we are a little, our bags are a little full. By the way, would you happen to have change or like allow us to exchange? Like, do you have silver that we can like exchange our copper for, or some
You want these
electrum?
pennies?
Do you have any spells to change money from
No,
one
most of them-
denomination to another?
Very rarely does that work. Most of the dwarf mint casters imbue something into the actual coinage so that you can't fraudulently create it through magic, and shifting
Yeah.
the coinage becomes that. But if I mean, I have a bunch of electrum I can give you in exchange. I need the silver.
We
you
have
know, I
plenty
think,
of silver.
yeah, I think I'll be
Lots of
willing to do
silver.
that. Yeah. Absolutely.
How about 1,000? Would you like 1,000 silver?
You want the copper? Are you giving me the copper or the silver or both?
Silver.
Okay,
Well, you said you
need
wanted
silver.
the silver.
If you'll
Yes.
take the copper, I'll also give you the copper.
Yeah.
Well, we could always
I mean, like,
exchange the copper.
I can exchange, you know, like, I've got, like, any kind of gestures over, and a book floats into existence. He starts flipping through, like, got, like, 20,000 electrum at the moment. Who wants to do math?
I
Oh,
look at Ven or Gunnar. I don't know which one of
5 silver
Van-
per electrum.
I believe that is correct.
Yeah, because an electrum's half gold.
So I know we have a lot
have-
more than 1,000 silver. I just was trying not to be rude.
we
Yeah.
have 7,000
We have
silver
so much.
and about 10,000 copper.
It's
we
the
can-
copper. It's like the silver is not the copper. It's the problem.
Yeah, we have about 10,000 copper. We have, you know what, let's say 10,000. I'll put in 50 of my own copper to make that around 10,000.
That'd be 1,000 electrum. 10,000 copper.
Yeah, if he
I
wants that,
am-
if he wants that much copper, that's the only thing. Is like, does he want that much copper?
So you kind of would get the impression that he would be somebody who would go into a place and be that asshole to just pay in coppers.
Yeah.
Okay, he just wants
Great,
it. All right.
then-
So how does
then
it
yeah.
feel? How does it?
That's why he has 20,000 electrum when most of the world doesn't use it.
Yeah,
You know, that's fair.
I have these $2 bills. Like $2 bills. No one
Yep.
uses-
He's basically going around paying everyone with $2 bills.
We also have 7,000 silver. He still
Yeah.
has more electrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Let's
wants.
That would be 1,400 electrum. So 2,400 electrum total if we do the 10,000 copper and 7,000 silver.
Sounds like a good plan.
yeah.
Yeah. It'll clear up
That'll
space
give him
at
quite a
least
bit
at
of
the.
silver to use for whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
Hopefully no evil, but I don't care. This is more evil.
Taking up too much space in the.
In the
Taking
bags.
up so
Yeah.
much space.
There is limited amount of space in the bag, so everything would be magical. but-
This will clear up so much. I forget how much money weighs in this game.
It's like we just
Or
like
coins,
dump.
yeah.
We just tip over the tip over the bag and just
It's like I'll be like, oh wait, is there somewhere you would want us to put this before we just dump this here, or
No, you can dump it wherever. And he just kind of snaps his fingers, and one of the unseen servants starts bringing out, like, small chests.
this feels like magically we're going to the Coinstar machine and just like we got it.
He,
exactly what we're
he does not care if you just drop it on the floor. He has unseen servants for that, right? Like, mage hand and
Yeah.
unseen servants. He does not have to actually.
And you're
carry
just sitting here
anything.
being like, damn, I really could get used to this place. I don't have to do math or nothing.
Good food. Look,
Uh.
it's just like get the number, get his number before we leave.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kariston's her future ex-husband.
No, you basically just like, you think he's got a lot of years left, so I can just like marry him, enjoy him for a few decades, and then I'll be a widow again.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty safe bet, honestly.
It's like
So-
you're marrying the old guy for a few years, except you're older than that.
Yes.
It's like
But I mean, he's of mixed species, so you're not 100% sure exactly
Yeah.
how old he's
Exactly.
He's
That's
a
why
wizard.
Yursa's like,
I mean, he's
And
a
he's
wizard.
a
He's a
wizard.
wizard. He could last forever.
If he hits
Yeah.
archery,
Forever.
Yursa doesn't know that. Yursa's like, huh.
Or if he goes even further, and then you would have to call him Bone Daddy.
you don't think he's gonna go lich, but you never know.
You never know. It is Greyhawk. You never do know.
As we just wait an uncomfortable amount of time for the money to pour out, I'll be like, well, so where are you from?
Here, I'm from here, as I make myself from here. Unfortunately.
Like this clearing specifically, or the continent, the world, this plane?
I honestly don't know. I was abandoned as a child.
That's terrible.
But
That's terrible.
I've gotten
Um,
over it with massive amounts of money and magic.
That's fair. That does solve a lot of wounds. I think we would know.
It does take a
And-
lot to recover from those. I would also know. We would also know.
But I think that's, as you now have all of the electrum instead of the copper and silver, and you prepare to go out to try and find, I think Garrel Enkdal is where you're going, or you could try and go after the other Ice Barbarian Chieftain.
No, that sounds like it'd be way more complicated than just murdering.
We're going to
A
have to go
bunch
to
of
one of them.
orcs.
Like,
I mean,
like,
one of
Yeah.
them.
we're
One
going to
of
have to
them
do
is a
both.
large city of orcs that
Yeah.
we may have to lay siege to.
We are,
Yeah.
we are now like this.
And then
We're
the other one is like
getting-
potentially politics. Ew,
Yes.
says Yursa. So
So we'll figure that out next week when we come back with, as you.
it's just like I don't have to
midway-
marry that chieftain for political gains to get the stupid sword.
You know.
You would be getting a different sword.
I know, but I'm interested in this
You
wizard's
don't even
Oh,
know
wand.
what, you don't even
true.
know what he looks like. What do you look?
It's true. That's true. Maybe we should go see if we can arrange a political marriage to get this sword. Because that's the only diplomacy Ursa can think of to get this sword.
I don't.
As arranged marriages.
Arranged marriage. Yep.
I mean, it's a choice. It is indeed an option that you could go with.
We might need
Um,
another sword if we're gonna go to the Orc City. So maybe we do need to actually go get another one. Get the other one first.
So we'll find that out next week as we come back. But we are all. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to my wonderful, fabulous players. Love these kind of just emotional social sessions because they're great. And I'm sure that nothing bad will happen after the fact. But we will go
Goddamn
around,
Axe.
let everybody share some love, share some joy, and where you can be found over the week. And we'll go in reverse order, so we're going to start with Chris. Hey, Chris, thank you for being here. Thank you for hanging out with us tonight.
Well, thank you for having me as always. Gunnar had quite a bit of enjoyment from the particulars that were going on. As I said in chat, we can lay siege if we find the right gnome and a large quantity of gunpowder. But that might be challenging.
I
but
mean,
that's
you know
definitely
that there's rumors of a gnome artillerist and artificer at like this really kind of snooty famous mountain.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
We
called
may
the
have
White
to go
Plume. It's a White Plume Mountain.
oh, well, I don't know that he would help.
Never again.
But the gnomes of Radek are known to blow things up.
Sure.
But anyway, you can find me at Chris Geary on Blue Sky. You can find me here on Thursdays. And slowly but surely, Prax and I are putting together a cast for a future Falkenstein. More details will keep leaking out every Sunday.
Secrets being leaked. I'm here for it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the fun times. I do love Gunnar and just the low key straight man, but not in the best possible way. Um, hey, Lindy, how are you doing?
Hi.
Thanks for
Tis
being
I.
here.
Hi, good to be here. I've got my terrible, awful divining rod, axe, and orcs to go murder. Maybe I don't know. You're still go with whatever the group wants to do. This one, she's gonna go with the flow. She's had a great day, night thing, evening. So she's in a congenial mood. Down for whatever. And you can find me online. Oh no, love. I liked Ven's vision. That was really cool. The whole like legend lore vision. The eyes locking. I was like, whoa, spooky. I loved PB putting the furniture against the door, just Sif being like, nope, don't trust this. And I loved Gunnar choosing the room furthest away from your set because he just knew. He just knew. And I love that. What a great murder. You can find me online, Laugh Live Lindy. You can find me next on Tuesday, Jimmy Goes to Saltmarsh on my channel. Wednesday for Tracks of Terror. It's gonna be there was a normal amount of terror last week. This week I'm gonna push the terror button. There's like a little red button, and I'm gonna push it, and they're so not expecting it, and it's gonna be in a way that they would have never dreamed of, and I'm very excited for that. And then on Friday,
I do have a question.
Yes.
One small
Yes.
introduction.
yes,
On a scale of creepy child avatar of Vecna to
Uh-huh.
Dorothy cannibalism, where are we on the terror scale?
dinosaurs.
Ooh, so dead center.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
And then Friday for Traveler on Trooper SJP's channel, and then here next Sunday.
Yep.
It's me.
Yep. You should go watch all of those wonderful things, all of the fun, all of the terror. Also, Traveler, because I'm enjoying the hell out of that drama right now. Hey Lynn, how are you? How's life going for you?
Good. I'm glad. Well, I'm glad. The axe is still here. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
But
it is.
I enjoy the chaos of the axe brings. It's as jealous as it is, probably extremely jealous now, like concerning like Grummish and the wizard like is trying to muscle it on someone that it wants to be interested in. So we'll see. We'll see how far we can push this axe before like it gets real mad. But yeah, it's so much fun. I loved just wrapping this poor wizard around her finger, just you healed him, and
No, she kissed it and made it better. Be
Yeah.
clear
She
about
did.
this.
yeah healed it. We'll find. Hopefully, we'll find someone else, some other deity for Ursa. And Civ, I enjoyed Civ's. There's a certain amount of like, we're gonna question this wizard because I was just thinking, wizard. Someone's interested in something. You kind of want to know, it's like, why? Why are you interested? And also, yeah, you probably did the most sensible thing of like, putting this stuff, gating the thing. Because you know what, I don't
just left it
trust.
open.
I don't trust him to like keep that thing, whatever it is, in the room because it's gone out already. And who knows? And yeah, I'm enjoying like Gunnar's just being like the kind of like the straight, but not not quite. Just kind of like we go along some chaos, especially if it's his sister.
Mm-hmm.
And it also Torm probably wants to fight the orcs at the Grummish city. So there you go. Yeah, this has been a ton of fun. Next thing you'll see me is on Tuesdays for Shadow Scar. Well, we I think partially found our third missing member, but like we're getting chased, so like it's a little tense right now. We'll probably have a multiverse worth of like villains chasing after us. And on Thursdays next week is going to be the premiere of on Twitch stream Valorant channel for Daughters of Io, a Girl by Moonlight mech game where I get to play a pair of mech pilots. That should be a lot of fun. You get to be sad and pilot mechs, which is like favorite shit.
Friday?
Thursday.
No, but what's on Friday? Don't you? Isn't there Bookhounds on Friday?
Oh yes, and Bookhounds. Yeah,
I was
yes,
like, did
and
I
Friday.
miss
Yeah,
something?
no, yes. Oh, there we go. Yes, on Friday, and we're continuation of starting to get to the conclusion of Bookhounds of London, where we are in a hell dimension. We're at an auction. Like my character wish it was an auction, but now we're in a hell dimension, and we're getting chased by demons. We're finding people's mothers, and there's all sorts of shit happening. It's great. It's chaotic. It's terrifying, but it's been a lot of fun. And my character honestly deserves to probably be there, stay there. We'll see.
Yep. Pope is saying finale, so
Now,
there we go.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, all right, cool.
hell yeah.
All right, and last but certainly not least, hey PB, thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing some love. Thank you for being Civ and bringing the questioning. I loved the questioning.
Hi, I'm PB from PB Plays Inside, where you can find me over on Twitch and on Blue Sky. This upcoming week, don't know what I'll be streaming, but I'll be streaming something. And yeah, no, it's a ton of fun. I always love this game and the absolute shenanigans we go into. I love just that Lindy every single time before any innuendo came out. She's like, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." It reminded me of that one skit from SNL with the white guy and the Southern food. It was just so funny. And I just love how you just roll with the punches, Lynn, when it comes to just finding out that one of your past lives just was involved in some shit, and you're like, oh well. All right, let's go. And you just are so ready and willing to go for it, and I love that. No matter what you find out your past self was into, and Gunnar, the shit you put up with for your sister is just top tier, and I love how you play it. It's just so playful.
Nothing but
about
love for yours. Nothing but love.
It's such a good sibling dynamic, and I just love this kind of. I don't. What would I call this wizard? It kind of just. I mean, he's been nothing but nice to us, but like, there's something inside of me that's just like, oh man, this guy's just a little bit of an asshole.
The vibes are question. They're like questionable.
I don't know what you're talking about.
PB, the answer is he's a 10th level wizard. That's why he's an asshole, right? Like, he's a really nice guy, but he's still a 10th level wizard.
True.
It's like, there's no subtlety about him being a dick.
Using that much magic, you out of touch. You get out of touch real fast about things.
And I love how you played him, Prax. It was just real fun. This entire session was really fun, and I look forward to next week when we get into even more shenanigans.
Yep. All the shenanigans, all of the time, all of the fun. But thank you all for being here. Thank you to my wonderfully fabulous players for playing. Thank you to those of you who hung out in chat. Pope would like it noted that not all wizards are assholes. True. But 99% of them are dicks occasionally. And those are two separate things.
It's like not all men, not all wizards.
Mordenkainen, however, deserves to get punched in the face every time you see him. Just throwing that out there.
Absolutely.
But
I'm sure Ben has.
If you missed out, I need to tell you a thing afterwards. If you missed out on any of the episodes, they're all up on YouTube now. And in fact, if you prefer to have a more auditory experience, they're also on a podcast is on YouTube. So that's an option you can enjoy. If you want to check out the merch store to support the channel, there's some Barbarians with body counts merch that exists.
Add one to that.
Add one to that in both categories.
Tick. Oh yeah, there's a new entry in the book. Page.
And if you we'll be back here next Sunday for more Greyhawk shenanigans for Become One. I'm loving every minute of this. Some things are coming together in the best possible way that I wasn't expecting. And as Chris says, be on the lookout because we are putting together a thing. And I did make the decision, difficult though it is, the Contessa will not be coming to this particular Castle Falkenstein adventure for multiple reasons. But mostly because there are too many other options that I want to play. But hey, you know, all those things, all those fun things. We are going to see, but you should always check my Twitter. No, not my Twitter. Don't ignore Twitter. It doesn't exist anymore. Blue Sky. Prax the Bard over on Blue Sky and Instagram and Hive. Prax Go Thesmia4 to see me around here on Twitch. Hang out, chat. I love all of the fun times. I love sharing all the joy with all of you. I love sharing all the joy with all of my players. But let us see. Is there anybody up that we can raid tonight? Nope, not yet. No one's awake. So we're just going to say goodnight and let y'all have a great night. And we'll see you next time. Bye.